if they give you a particular farmland and you continue to farm year in, year out with cassava alone, to 10 years, they'll collect that land from you. They say you want to kill that soil. That's their language then. Why? They know that it requires little, but it takes a lot. Maybe with time, science will be able to tell us, soil science will tell us that why this particular root crop takes more from the soil, but doesn't even require, sometimes it's even luxury consumption. Now, so apart from the soil that you grow it, you start talking about your planting material. Most, just like I said, breeding work has been on in terms of planting material, but most varieties that are performing so well in Nigeria will still make use of our stem cuttings. Then some ask me, what is the size of the stem cuttings? Usually the standard is 20 to 25 centimeters. So depending, the 20, if you want to use 20 cm, you want to use 25 cm, depending on how much of the stems you have. Then there's what we call inter and intra-row spacing. So if you want to plant, the distance of 1 meter could be a stretch of my hand, or if I decide to open my legs. So we always advise farmers to plant what we call intra, in between one of your planting space and the other. 1 meter is fine. Then in between what we call inter, another row that you are having, 1 meter is also fine. If you have this practice, if you practice this, you'll be amazed, irrespective of the variety, you'll be amazed on what you can get from your production site. So while still talking about production, we also have, so I'm not going to all the cultural management of weed. For management of weed, we have what we call pre and post-emergent herbicide. But we are coming to that level where if you don't have organic management of weed, we're always advising our people that if you are going to serious commercialization, it will be difficult, it will cost you more in terms of weed management, especially if you are not using synthetic, if you are not using chemical. But while we are still waiting for technology in terms of organic weed management, we are also advising as much as possible minimize the quantity of chemicals we pump into your land while trying to manage weed. So while trying to manage weed, we always advise that if you have the resources to first of all slash, do that. Then if you have the resources to also till the land, you till the land, then you do what we call pre-emergence. Pre-emergence herbicides will enable your crop to have a good start before the weeds come up. So you just prepare the land, you'll be able to make your ridges. So before planting, do what we call pre-emergence herbicide, so that before the next weed can raise its head, your plant has been able to have an advantage over the weed. So after then, we also advise if it is possible for you to spray, but at this particular time, you already have good germination coming up. Depending on the variety, remember when we are selecting, I'll come to the issue of variety too. We select varieties based on your choice. Some want to select a particular cassava variety based on color. As simple as the color of the produce looks like, someone can, especially for those into garri production, I like white. Before adding oil in the frying process, but let the cassava itself be a white variety. Some can tell you, I want to produce twice within 12 months or 14 months, because we have varieties that you can get for 6 months, 8 months, 10 months, 12 months. So some, their own is, I have this limited space and I want to see how much I can produce within a limited time. So I want to have like two production cycles within 12 to 14 months. So some selection of variety can be based on the time to maturity. Then another thing that people also, at the technical level, there's what we call hydrogen cyanide, which is a content in the cassava that I've had experience. When I had goats, I was raising goats, about 8 of them, and these goats all were for husbandry purpose. I had 8 of them, and I was feeding them with cassava peels. Not knowing, someone suggested, in fact, it was an animal scientist that suggested that an easier way, dry them and feed them with the cassava peel, but not knowing that I needed to check the level of the hydrogen cyanide. Most of the goats that were pregnant started aborting, and I was losing a lot of them. So hydrogen cyanide content can be poisonous to livestock, even as they are poisonous to livestock, can also be poisonous to us, depending on the level of consumption over time. So some can decide to choose a variety based on the hydrogen cyanide content. Some can also select a variety based on the nutritional value. So they've done proximate analysis to check how much of vitamins and all that can this particular variety give to you. So but that is at the technical level. But for me, for the conventional farmer, how much of roots can I have? If I harvest 10 stands of my cassava, can it feed a pickup or fill up a keke? How many tons can I get by just harvesting few stands? So the choice can be irrespective of the color, irrespective of the time to maturity, but if I can just harvest few stems and it gives me large quantity. So people can select based on quality, people can select based on quantity. Remember yield, 2 things we consider in yield, quantity and quality. So depending on the choice of the farmer, what you want to do, you can go into that. Let's see what this slide, please. So I've spent so much time trying to explain some of the things we try to consider during production. So I have to move quickly now. Harvesting and handling. Now, the good thing about most of the varieties, I will mention some of the varieties for notes to take care of. It's not in this particular presentation. The popular ones that whenever you're having conversation in terms of planting material or someone, you tell the person what you want and why you want it. I think I'll do that at the end of the presentation. So that you know some of these varieties and you want to go into the cassava production properly, you know what you want, so you go for it. So depending on like the TMS 419 is this kind of trailing type, and it grows so tall and with a lot of shades. So for me, that I don't have that plenty land like Quebec, hectares like Quebec has. TMS 419 will give me challenge because if I do my mixed cropping, it gives a shade over the crop. So most time like this year, what I did, and I'm not just talking about this thing from a theory aspect. For 4 years now, at my family level, we've not bought cassava outside. Whether it is gari, whether it is fufu, whether it is there's what we call abacha from where we're coming from, the flour that we used to. We've not bought from the market. So I have these 2 plots that I'm using for production. So this year we don't harvest as a last month, and we're already replanting because of the rains, how the rains are this year. So I'm also looking forward that we get good production too. So depending in harvesting and handling, depending on the variety, it also plays a role. When do you harvest based on variety? How do you handle is also based on variety. Variety plays a major role. Now in terms of processing, in fact, the game changer now, why we are looking for something happened. I was involved in the supply of cassava chips to a major company in Kogi just before your Gmet, you've been to Lokoja before Gmet Ridge. And one of the competing stuff for cassava for us in Kogi State and even in Benue State, this company is also located in Benue too, is that the export value that they are giving to farmers by just as you harvest those roots, you don't need to do anything to just slice and put them into chips with its back. Then you dry them. Then they truck, in fact, they negotiate for transport to come and load them. So it has been a game changer for Benue and Kogi for the past 3 to 5 years. While we're talking about cassava to feed, either for gari, for starch, what you call akpu, and for other but the industrial demand is becoming a very big one for us in these 2 states, Benue and Kogi. I don't know whether they've got a lot of stuff like that happening in Nasarawa, but for Kogi, the export value that farmers get, they don't export directly, but these major companies that are located in Kogi and also located in Benue, they buy, in fact, They try as much, they have their agents going directly to check, oh, you produce 10 hectares this year, I will mop it from you. Farm gates. You don't need to leave the transport is on me. So even the agents are stranded. The agents have been the one being so cruel to the farmers over time, but now the companies also send agents to the rural communities like that. So we're thinking of cassava to feed on. Export value is not a game changer in these two states. And they also regulate the price. So when you're trying to look for cassava to use for garri, they are looking for cassava to just cut fresh like that, dry, and export. So the cassava in these two states can't even meet the demand. Last 2-3 weeks, we were harvesting from my farm. And I'm also involved in when they harvest and they bring home like that, we employ labor for the peeling. And we look for keke to take it to the grinding mill. We were just harvesting and the keke, we had from just 2 plots, we had 2 keke loading from there. And the price as at then was 160,000 naira for the keke, a full keke, depending on the loading. I was teasing my wife, I was like, can't we, because she came with, and involved in the production, I was like, if I sell these 2 keke, it's good money for me. She looked at me, said, you have money. But I just like, it was beating my imagination that we did from 2 plots, we were able to get full keke, and they were already buyers for 160,000 naira. And we didn't harvest the 2 plots completely. So I'm trying to blow your mind that this is practical. You don't need a lot to go into cassava production. Source for your planting materials, plan the activity, and you'll be surprised. It's not something that keeps you on the farm for weeding programs. In fact, most of the weeding programs, 2-3 weeding regimes can take care of itself. Once it comes up, it shades other weeds from coming up. So we go to a lot of processing is going on for cassava, and I just mentioned some of them, peeling and chewing. Now this is what I was telling you for the industrial use now. Not all industrial use even require the peeling. They just dice them, put them into chips, dry them to a particular moisture level, and these guys come with their transport and just move them. Dry, like I've talked about, milling, and fermentation goes on for products like garri, fufu, even the starch production. Around the ethanol, all involves you peeling and putting them in fermentation bags or fermentation buckets, and you get what you want. Please, the next slide, please. Storage. Proper storage is essential too. So most times, depending on what you have processed the cassava to, if you process to garri, you know that particular garri, after that frying, it still needs to dry to a particular level so that it doesn't get moldy, start another spoilage. So you need to dry to most of the storage will require that you check the moisture level of your final produce or product, so that if you're going to store, you know that it's fine, it can take for a longer period. Distribution and marketing. I've also touched this while trying to talk about production. These days, farmers don't even struggle to work out transport because farm gate price, the demand cannot meet the supply, the production. So farmers don't even stress in terms of transport. Like what is happening in Kogi, I keep hammering on that. These guys will trace you to, apart from security issues, but they still trace you to any level and mop up whatever you have on the farm. Consumption, I've mentioned some of the things under consumption. Waste management. Now, another big one for us again is even the livestock industry currently make use of the peels, that cassava bag. They dry it, then mill it into powder, and it's what they call a filler material for livestock feed. So waste management around it is a big one. It's money. The waste management in cassava now is money. Let's go to the next slide, please. nutritional content. So if you can see what is presented in terms of nutritional content for the calories, if you the calorie value is 160, now you see how high it is. That as you consume cassava, the much calories. So if you are trying to watch on your weight, want to watch your weight, you see that cassava gives you a lot. So your consumption, whether it is starch, the apple, and you know how to go around it, so that you are trying as much as possible to work on your weight. You don't know what is actually contributing to it. Cassava gives you more calories. You see the carbohydrate content, the dietary fiber, the protein, fat, the vitamins, all listed. Even to what we call vitamin C, B6, potassium, calcium, magnesium, and iron. The next slide, please. Livelihood and employment. So even when I started, I've been able to touch some of these things, but I just do a quick one around the small order family now. For I still keep using the model or the practical stuff I'm seeing in my state over time. Now, apart from coal mining in some areas where I'm coming from, another big deal for us now is cassava production. So coal mining is happening in some locations and is making them not to put their productive land into production. But for those who are still focused, cassava farming is a big changer. So even you can imagine, I'll give you an example of my 2 plots, 200 by 100 that I've been using for farming over time. How much it can give to me? I'm having 2 full load of keke, not from a complete harvest from 2 plots. So imagine if I have the capacity to go up to 5 or 10 plots. I can actually hit my chest towards a 1M, just standing on the farm for them to come and harvest. So these are some of the things that, try it. You understand? Try it. So it has been able to give, at smallholder level, it has been able to employ people, create livelihoods for them. They don't stress much around this. Food security too, yes. So I can give an example of my own household. I have not bought anything around cassava for like 3 to 4 years now. When it is time to harvest, as a family, we harvest and we process into garri and process into flour. So we also have opportunity to also extend hands of fellowship to other extended family from harvest. So it takes care of nutrition too. Industrial business, I've also talked about that. International trade, I see use that model in Kogi and Benue as an example too. Economic resilience, yes, in terms of climate change. Remember, the issue around climate change most times is adaptation. So what are the technologies or what are some of the lifestyle adjustments you can do in the presence of these harsh weather conditions and all that? So cassava farming is one big one for us as a community, as individuals. If you move into cassava farming, you'll be sure to get something. The next slide, please. Next slide, please. All right. So investment and infrastructural development. Now, what we are also trusting God for Quebec is to have production lines in each of the farm estate. Production lines that can be accessible to even the communities that want to come and process. So we need to set up this infrastructure. And the good thing about setting up facilities for the processing for cassava is that it doesn't require so much cost, depending on what, and at a small scale. Now, just like the thoughts that are also coming to my mind is, can we see a situation whereby we can also have patency for production of smaller units that can be used for processing of some of these cassava? That will also help. We'll talk about the health and nutritional benefits. Then sustainability. There's a growing emphasis on sustainable practices in cassava farming and processing to ensure long-term and economic environmental viability. Like what I've just said, even the fermentation can also give what we call ethanol. So there's no waste that can be encountered around the cassava processing. So it also promotes environmental sustainability. Now, the next slide, please. Okay, so let's see waste management. I have talked about this animal feed, apart from the hydrogen cyanide content. Well, for years, even for years, we'll be using cassava peels for composting. The compost will produce compost for soil fertility measures. So that peels that we'll have from there, even the leaves, as you harvest, remember, before getting your planting material for the stem, we cut down some of those leaf stock, can also be used to make compost to improve the fertility of your soil. Okay, let's move to the next one, please. Okay, yes, this is more, I've been able to touch some of this thing while doing introduction and all that. Challenges and considerations, toxicity. When you talk about toxicity, just like the example of hydrogen cyanide I've also given. So when you are trying to try as much as possible to check what content can make both you that is consuming, what is causing to you that is consuming, and what is causing to the environment. Okay, that's fine. Next one, please. Okay, so for Nigeria, there are 4 major countries that are game changers in terms of cassava production. Nigeria is taking the lead. Nigeria produces 50 million metric tons for about 5 years now. Over 50 million metric tons consistently. Thailand is following, Brazil is also there, Vietnam there. But after Nigeria, Thailand and Brazil, Nigeria has not blinked their eyes in terms of production. But if you and I begin to commit our 2+, 3+ into production now, so imagine what the production will look like in 5 years' time. So about 50 million metric tons of cassava being produced globally, Nigeria takes the lead. And surprisingly, countries like Thailand are making good money because of not because it's a staple food. For us, there's a competing use or need for the cassava. Thailand is making good money compared to we that are producing more because Thailand has industrialized their own produce, ethanol, starch and all that. But here are we, just here and there, we feed and our livestock feed from it. So in terms of government policies and all that, we are trying to also encourage at our own level, but we cannot do at our own level, but let investors come and start thinking with us what Thailand is doing to make more money from the industrialization of our produce. Thailand, Nigeria takes 20 out of the entire production. Nigeria takes 20% from it, and for the export. Now the crazy thing around this particular statistics is we are exporting, but we have not been able to export even half of what we are producing. I'll say it again, possibly say it differently. So here is the global production of 50 billion metric tons, right? And we are doing more than half of what other countries are scrapping for. Then in terms of export, which is the real money people get, like I told you, these 2 states, we have not been able to do up to 20% for export. Now, I'm saying this to excite us, I'm saying this to open our eyes to opportunities around cassava. If I don't have all the technicalities around every other thing with the risk and all that, a simple model that could help generate money and put food on the table is cassava. If you have any land, look for a good variety, put into it. Now, in those days, we plant at what we call Angle 90, but Angle 90, they make ridges. Now, for us, for 2-3 years now, based on best production practices, I'm trying to touch what I didn't touch in that production. We advise for farmers to just spray, even though we're trying to say avoid spraying as much as possible. But spray, if you don't have the money to make ridges, after spraying, you can actually open up and put, in those days they make ridges and put it at angle 90, right? But now we're advising 180. 180 gives you more roots, in the sense that, remember those nodes of the cassava, a lot of them goes in at 180 and gives you more roots that are more, than stands that are firm, than comparing to 180, the 90. Why are we talking about 90? Not all the stem goes into the soil if you do 90. When they make ridges, whether hips or ridges, and place it just at an angle, it doesn't give you more yield compared to when you just put it flat. Open up a little bit, put it and cover with your soil. It's an experiment that we can also do at our own, even if it's just a space, a little space. Plant at angle 90 and plant at 180 and compare the yield at the end of the year. So you'll be amazed at what you get. Now I'll mention some varieties quickly. What I'll also do is possibly compress this variety notes on variety and give to QDEC, some of our WhatsApp line and all that, if they can share with us. But I'll mention some people. I have about 10 to 11 varieties that are doing well in the country, and we're happy with what we'll be getting over time. So if you're taking notes now, but I'll also see if I can make that available for us. So we have TME 419. The TME 419 has been, in fact, even most of our communities, they call it 419. Then most of them know this. The TME 419 is a big one for us. And another one is Dizon. Dizon is DISON, formerly known as 0581. But the TMS number, I don't know if we're writing, I just mentioned them, possibly. We're writing, right? Okay. Now, Dizon is DISON. Formerly, it was known as 0581. And most of these breeding programs are coming from IITA. So we have now that one is TMS, not TME now. We've written TME 419, the one we call 419. This is that one, the yield is fine. And they go to around 4. I'll give you advantage and disadvantage of some of them as we move down. TME 419, my colleague in the department made 500,000 from sales of stems, and it's 419, 490, because we call it cocaine sticks. Last 2-3 months, we call cassava stems cocaine sticks in the state because you won't even see it. So for him, he had 4, and he was even at the university. He found at the university farm land and all that. It was there he planted. So it was 25 stems of that was going for 2,500. The stems are so long for TME 419. So 2,400 for 25 stems. You see the amount he's making. So if they load a pickup, they can get from there. Just sales of stems, not the roots, has made good money. So TMS, so the second one is TMS 98000581. TMS, not T, the S, not X, S. Yes, TMS 98000581. Why I'm trying to give this list is that with the passion you are going to move out, from here, you should be able to sustain a conversation on what you want. So I'll run through that quickly. So we'll go to Obasanjo 2. Obasanjo 2, that's that variety. Another variety. Baba 70. Baba is BABA. Baba 70. So for TME 419 is an erect type, and it gives a lot of shade. It's guaranteed for virtually every environment. It works for everyone. Then the fufu, which is the apple that you get from it, is also fine. High yielding, and the dry matter content will go up to 40%. So I'll try and compress this and make QDEC to provide for us because of our time. I'll provide a list of most of the varieties we have, their advantages and their disadvantages and all that. Thank you for this time. I appreciate it.
Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, can you put your hands together once again for that very educative lecture? I believe we have learned one or two things. Just like what I said before, the knowledge is in the doing, not the hearing. So I will expect that when we go home, we put all what we've heard into practice. So very quickly, if the media teams are ready, we'll be taking a video interlude. The Make We Go Farm Initiative pitch decks at the 6th edition of Nigeria Diaspora Investment Summit that was held on the 14th of November 2023. The media team, please. Please, I want you to sit back, relax, and watch this pitch from the MD of Quebec Foods, Mr. Martins Onapoma, LE, at the Nigeria Diaspora Investment Summit.
Which we have done registration 2 years back, and we focus on food crops, fruits, vegetable, and livestock. On a mission to raise transformative capital by converting all cultivated farmlands in rural communities to farm estate and setting up processing plant to open up alternative income. We have so many lands across the countries that are not being used. That's the target to go. What I'm requesting for is seeking for strategic partners and investors to raise 31 billion, which is very big. Investors as lenders on senior debt financing structure, who can give it to us from 12 months material and 7 years repayment plan. We're offering 9% for the long term. Equity finance can to give out 20%. The purpose of the fund, 8 billion is required to build Quebec Capital City and Farm Estate projects, which we have talked all over the years, with other infrastructure, water plants, cassava processing, starch plants, and all that. 1 billion is required to revive existing integrated farms. What we do in Quebec, we have been able to figure out existing integrated farms, processing mills that are financed by Bank of Industry that are lie down because of no provision for refinancing for them to restart. Then 22 billion is required for farming, for food crop across 5 zones in this country. What's the problem? We all know food problem. Everybody's crying for food. Price of food are going up and all that. So because of that, we feel farming is very clear. That's why we initiated the program after last year, NDIS, giving us a platform that was wanted us to talk to Nigerians in diaspora. That's what led to what we call the Make We Go Farm program. Tell your neighbor, Make We Go Farm. It's a program to sensitize Nigerians to go back to farming. We have a lot of you sitting here this afternoon listening to me. You have vast family lands that are nothing to do about. 2 years back, I asked people in Ohaje Bema local government in Imo State who turned us to ATM machine for 6 years. ATM machine for 6 years. Holding their lands and all that. And I asked them for this year, were you able to save 20,000 naira? The answer is no. For Ghana, people don't sell their land to foreign investors. They go into strategic partnership for years. What they do, there's a certain percentage they give to you, certain amount they give to you yearly. When they start producing, they will earn certain percentage of what the entire facility generates. So secondly is to also connect civil servants to ensure that they come together, cooperatives and all that. Because there are a lot of funds by cooperatives on the civil servants end. There are a lot of farmland, real estate and purchase that nothing is being done, and years to come, people are just there, nothing is happening. Let's convert them to farm estates. This will lead to 60 million Nigerian youths to be engaged in agriculture, and I'll tell you what are attached to what will it contribute. The strategy is to increase food production. We want to introduce what we call health insurance scheme for farmers, which we already have 2 insurance companies that are fighting to get that contract and get it done. So the time to cultivate 200,000 hectares of farmland, translating to 1.2 million Nigerian youths as a pilot phase. Next slide, please. These the same farmers will also contribute to national housing funds and all that, and become taxpayers to federal government. Technology has all been done to ensure that all our food science technology students now begin to have ideology on what to do, not to work on entries and banks anymore. Next slide. Strategy is simple. We have already sent letter to the presidency, sent to the Honorable Minister for Agriculture, to see that the Canadian Ministry of Agriculture can come into this scheme and work very well. Secondly, to promote financial inclusion and access to finance by farmers to ensure that through Quebec Cooperative we work with Bank of Agriculture and other financial institutions. Already Bank of Agriculture has given us a letter to invite us for collaboration on this. Now we work with NIPCOM, Nigerian Diaspora Investment Summit, and all government agencies to make sure that this work. This is a typical design. This design you see is a typical farm estate that will come up in the state, fully registered by the Ministry of Land and Survey. Nobody can come there and drive that land. We have done all that. These are the exportable products we want to produce. We talked about cassava last year. But here in NDIS, you have palm oil and rice that you can purchase, and I can tell you, you can't.
Nigerians in Diaspora Commission, NIPCOM, in partnership with the Nigeria Diaspora Summit Initiative, NDSI, presents the 7th Nigeria Diaspora Investment Summit with the theme, Adapting Stability through Diaspora Investment, Navigating the Path to Prosperity.
Date, November 5th to the 7th, 2024. Venue, State House Conference Center, Presidential Villa, Abuja.
The Investment Summit provides a global platform of ideas and networking for business startups and existing businesses to interact with Nigeria diaspora investors and government representatives. For more details, exhibition and sponsorship opportunities, please visit www.ndisng.com.
Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, can you put your hands together for that pitch deck there from the Managing Director of Quebec Foods. We will also be showcasing the video interlude from the 7th edition of Nigerian Diaspora Investment Summit by Harold Desir. I would like you to repeat the video, please, Media, while we invite the MD.
Make we go far. Make we go far. Now, you just watched my pitch. That was last year, 2023, when we presented this whole initiative to the Nigerian diaspora. And today, we are witnessing the 4th edition. I think we give God all the grace, we give Allah all the grace, because with that in, I don't think, men can plan. But the situation of the country, the emotional well-being of Nigerians, can decide whether it will stand or not. So for this, I just want us to plan and appreciate this initiative. Now, please read the diaspora ad just one more time. Run it just one more time and we move to the next presenter. The youth in the house, can I see your hands? If you are a youth, we are IT students. Now, NDSI, Nigerian Diaspora Investment Summit, I find my way there on the humble beginning in 2022. I did my first pitch deck on cassava valuation. That same project I pitched about now is what will manifest in Nasarawa State. The same thing I presented to 6 state governors, including the sitting governor of Nasarawa State. We had engagement to a certain point, for all its history. What I want to tell you that I've been mandated by the Nigerian Diaspora Investment Summit, hosted by the Nigerian Diaspora Commission, headed by Honorable Abike Dabiri, and my mommy, which the coordinator, Dr. Badewa, and Madam Miriam, all both are in US, has mandated me to bring young youth for the 2024 Nigerian Diaspora Summit, who have brilliant ideas to pitch, especially in the agri sector, for possible partnership and bringing them together with investors. So please, after the workshop, if you are interested to be part of the 2024 Nigeria Diaspora Investment Summit, I will appreciate you identify with us so that I can take you. They are feeling offered tomorrow. I think we encourage them for that. We are moving to the next presentation on security. Make we go far. Make we go far. Now, the major issue here today is the issue of security. Many of us who are in FCT, Buhari, Kurudu, Karishi, and all that, we are a bit scared of going to farm. So I won't talk much. I want to bring on stage Commander Idris Jobre, Agro Rangers unit of the Civil Defense Headquarters, representing the Commander General and the ACG Agro Rangers. You're welcome, sir.
The President, Chief Executive, and the founder, Kube Food Processing Industrial Park Limited, distinguished invited guests, personnel of Kube Food Processing Industrial Limited, contributors, gentlemen of the press, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. My name is Commandant Idris Jibrin, Commandant Agro Rangers National Headquarters, Abuja. I'm here in double capacity, representing our Commandant General, Dr. Abubakar Ahmed Audi, MNI OFA, and representing my head of department, Augustine Obigwe, ESQ, head of Agro Rangers Department, National Headquarters, Abuja. I'm very glad to be in your midst because I'm happy I've learned a lot from the past speakers. The topic of my paper is the role of Nigeria's Security and Civil Defense Corps in resolving conflicts between farmers, herders, a veritable tool for safeguarding farmland in Nigeria, presented by Augustine Ubike, head of Agro Rangers Department, National Headquarters, Abuja, being a paper presented at 4th edition of the Make We Go Farm Initiative workshop organized by Quebec Food on 14 September 2024. Conceptual definition of terms. Farmers. A farmer is a person who runs and works in the farm. Some farmers raise a variety of fruit crops, while others keep dairy cow and sell their milk. Farmers work in some aspect of agriculture, growing vegetables, grains, or fruit, or raising animals for milk and egg or meat. Herders. Herders simply refers to such people whose main occupation is the rearing of animals through a nomadic lifestyle. Both herders and farmers rear animals. The main difference is that the herders keep migrating from one location to another, while farmers remain fixed in one location. Herders are also refers to nomadic or pastoralists. Conflict resolution. Conflict resolution is the process of addressing and resolving disputes or disagreement between individuals or groups. It involves understanding, communication, and negotiation to find a solution that are acceptable to all the parties involved. The goal is to reach an outcome that minimizes hostility and promotes harmony and understanding. A brief overview of farmer-herder conflict in Nigeria. Fundamentally, conflict is part of life. Conflict is inevitable. Therefore, conflict is an enduring feature of a social life in Nigeria. Herder-farmer conflict in Nigeria are a series of disputes over arable land and resources across Nigeria between the mostly Muslim Fulani herders and mostly Christian non-Muslim farmers. The north central of Benue, Plateau, Nasarawa, Taraba, Adamawa in Northeast, and other states of Nigeria have experienced conflicts that led to thousands of deaths and displacement as a result of clashes between herders and local farmers in several communities since the return of democracy in 1999. Interdependence between herders and farmers before the advent of democracy. Farming and nomadic communities in Nigeria and West Africa have historically lived in peaceful, symbiotic relationship that developed through reciprocity. That is, you rub my back, I rub your back. And mutual support. Both parties have enjoyed a history of harmonious relationship characterized by exchange of goods and services. For example, herders and cattle will fertilize farmland in the extent of grazing rights. Many farmers also regularly entrust their cattle in Fulani herders, with Fulani herders. Before, herders frequently exchanged milk for cereal grains with farming communities. The pre-colonial era record of conflict between herders and farmers were made. Very, very minimal. Now, what are the causes of farmers and herders conflict? Herder-farmer conflict in Nigeria have deep roots and date back to pre-colonial times, that is before the 1900. However, this conflict has become far more severe in recent decades. It is important to note that the cause and dynamics of farmer-herders conflict varies across different regions because of the following reasons. Environmental factors. The first speaker have done a lot on this, and he has done much of the job for me. Environmental factors, one include land use. Basically, the major problem is competition on land use and access to water points. And the second one is climatic change. Extreme climatic conditions leads to global warming. Global warming leads to drought, desertification, soil desiccation, and general soil degradation, which is not favorable for the farmers. So most farmers in the northern part of the country are forced to move from the northern part of the country towards the middle belt and to the south. The second reason is demographic factors. Increase in both human and livestock population also put pressure on available natural resources. Religion and ethnicity. The conflict sometimes takes a dangerous religious and ethnic dimension, mostly because most of the farmers in the Middle Belt are Christian of various ethnicity, while most of the headers in the north are Muslim Fulani, who have made up about 90% of the country's pastoralists. Proliferation of small arms and light weapons is also a contributing factor. Policy and regulatory deficiencies. Nature of approach used in resolving and managing conflict also contribute. Organization is also a major cause for farmers-herders conflict. Now, implication of farmers-herders conflict. What is the adverse effects of farmers-herders conflict in the socio-economic well-being of Nigerians? Those effects include significant loss of lives and livelihood, food insecurity, hunger, starvation, high cost of food items, displacement of large number of people, destruction of resources meant for development, distrust, unemployment, outbreak of diseases. Women and children also becomes vulnerable. Sexual harassment and rape, closure of schools, loss of investors, proliferation of arms and light weapons, general dislocation of social and economic activities. Government intervention to ameliorate the menace of herders and farmers clashes. Government at all levels have came up with various reforms and strategies at different times that was aimed at mitigating the persistent farmer-herders clashes in Nigeria, ranging from creation of grazing reserve in 1965 by Northern Regional Government, establishment of the National Commission on Nomadic Education in 1989, to integrate the pastoralists into national life, establishment of National Grazing Reserve Bill 2016, proposed cattle ranching system in 2018, legislation on prohibition of open grazing launched in 2007 in some states, establishment of Great Green Wall in 2015, most recently, the inauguration of Committee on Implementation of Livestock Reform by President Ahmed Bola Ahmed Tinubu, DCFR, in July 2004, just to mention but a few. All these efforts made are expected to end the perennial clashes between pastoralists and farmers. Now, the reason why I'm here, the role of Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps in resolving farmers and herders conflicts. Under the provision of the amended Act 2007, the Corps is statutorily empowered to provide protection, crisis resolution and security to public infrastructure and related matters, and this led to the establishment of a very special unit called Agro Rangers. That is why you see some of our officers wearing green uniform. This uniform is meant for officers that are in Agro Rangers department. So the Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps, in collaboration with the Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security, created this very important unit. And Agro Rangers Department was set up primarily to 1. Protect agricultural investment and assets from vandalism, theft, destruction, and other criminal activities, thereby ensuring food security and supporting the country's economic growth. Example, protection of farmland, protection of strategic reserve. 2. Providing security service to farmers, herders, and other stakeholders in the agricultural sectors with the aim of preventing conflict and promoting peaceful coexistence between them. 3. Mediation in addressing recurring farmers-herders conflict. 4. Escort service for agro-allied products from one destination to the other, and escorting farmers to their farms in some troubled areas. 5. Organizing advocacy and sensitization workshop for stakeholders in form of town hall meeting. 6. Formation of formidable task force to curb the menace of adulteration of agricultural farm input like fertilizer, herbicide, insecticides, etc. Now, how we carry out this mandate? How we carry out this mandate? That is Agro-Rangers operation. Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps deploy both kinetic and non-kinetic means in a bid to resolve farmers-herders conflicts and in protection of farmland. There are Agro-Rangers units in NSCDC state commands, zonal command, and in all local government areas nationwide. In addition, we also have Agro-Rangers base station in each senatorial district in all the states of the Federation, as it is structured to provide grassroots security to the rural and urban farmers. NSCDC Agro-Rangers protect farmlands through direct deployment of personnel to farm estate or through frequent surveillance in farmlands. NSCDC Agro-Rangers protect farmers, herders, and prevent the escalation of conflicts in vulnerable areas through deployment of armed personnel and sometimes in joint operation with other sister agencies. NSCDC Agro-Rangers assist in resolving herders-farmers conflict through building peace by a way of interaction that foster dialogue, genuine reconciliation, and social cohesion. The Corps at all levels has developed a multi-stakeholder platform for a holistic human security-based response to crisis. These stakeholders include leadership of various farmers associations, leadership of cattle rearers and marketers association, community leaders, the traditional institution, religious institution, grains, fruits, marketers association. In conclusion, a positive response from all these stakeholders and their collaborative efforts through shared commitment always bring lasting solution to conflict. Thank you, and God bless you for listening.
Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, can you put your hands together for that lecture from Captain Idris Jibril, representing the Assistant Commander General, Agro-Rangers, Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps. Can you put your hands once again together for him? Thank you so much, sir. So very quickly, please, I would like to appeal to our keynote speakers to please do well to manage the time so we can leave here at the time appointed. Thank you very much.
Make we go far. Make we go far. I would like you to also know that a collaboration between QPEC groups and the Nigerian Security Civil Defense Corps was activated this month, September 3rd, 2024. I think you applaud there. An approval was given for the food production contribution program by our able CG. And I want to say something and I want you to clap. First of all, just assist me by clapping. You know, when they ask somebody to go for a representation, if what he saw already in see makes sense, he will present them. But to also study, he will still study whether this person, they will support them or not. I want you to applaud Commander Idris. Even though this is a public function and it's not a religious program, by the authority in me as a man of God, that at the point of you leaving LCDC, your footprint will never be forgotten. It will never be forgotten. Let's applaud the moment. Now we're bringing on stage the next presenter, and after that, a session will take place for Elder Statesman, Prof, to catch up with other engagements. But before I bring the gentleman, I want to say that in my life, I've always appreciated people. And those of you who have opportunity to meet with me or I meet with you, I want to let you know today that I'll never take our friendship or partnership for granted. You just do your part, and I'll do my part. And when you feel I'm going astray, I'm not a man that is filled with too many knowledge. I'm not a master know-all. Quickly beckon on me so that I can retrace my footsteps. Join me as I welcome Adaye, right? Joseph. He's one person. He doesn't know I want to say this today. He gave us one secret how we can address farmers' issues. Thank you, sir, and you're welcome, sir.
Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon, Nigerians. Are we sleeping? The same people, Famo, are you ready? Are you ready? Permit me. I'll be giving 10 minutes. I will do 12 minutes and I'm done. Trust me, what I'm going to tell you is no joke. If you're still pressing your phone, I will indulge you to please keep it aside for just these 12 minutes. Can we have the slides running, please? The name is Adaye Joseph Unogo, and I'm the state coordinator. The next slide, please. I coordinate for Feed the Future Agric Extension. That's the name there. You want to catch me on LinkedIn, you want to see what we're doing, just take that name, go to LinkedIn, and you will see all what we're doing there. This picture was taken 2021. I think just shortly or within the COVID period. That's one of our field. Let's go to the next slide. Okay, so I will be telling you just a very quick intro of what we do from USAID Feed the Future Agric Extension. We cover 7 states. We are a 5-year program, 2020 to 2025. We cover 5 major commodities: rice, maize, soybean, cowpea, and aquaculture. Somebody will say, why is there no poultry? Don't worry, we are coming there. We cover 7 states as well. We do that in Benue, Cross River, Delta, Ebonyi, Niger, Kaduna, and Kebbi State. And we are meant to reach 2,000 smallholder farmers and increase their productivity and their income. Next slide. How do we do this? Once I tell people want to fix agri extension, you have fixed the major problem of agriculture. And you'll be seeing it as we proceed. Now, what do? We have serious barrier to smallholder farmers' productivity in Nigeria, and you're looking at inputs, services, the quality of inputs anyway, services, and financial credit. Maybe I'll add additional one, insecurity. But thank God our commandant is here. He has given a lot on that, and we'll leave that to the top to deal with. But from the agri extension point of view, we will be adding that to tell you that we also harness information from the field to upscale to the security agent. And we do this by what? Whatever we develop what we call the most impactful practices, where we remove the pain points of the smallholder farmers from their production in all of this, and we pass that as a solution brief to partner MSMEs, micro, small, and medium enterprise within the agricultural value chain, who now pass that together with their products and services to the smallholder farmers, thereby increasing productivity. This is just to give you a background of what we do. Next slide. Nigeria Food Insecurity Outlook 2024-2025. Permit me at this point to remove the cap of USAID Feed the Future and to stand in as a Nigerian, as a professional within the agricultural space, and as a food advocate. So, please stay on that slide. No, back. Good. You have said there are not too many texts here, and we're going to run through a few things. You can see as a nation, we are all thinking, what is happening to us? How do we get here? When are we going to get out? Very quickly, permit me to give you, I'll spend just about a minute here, Food Security Outlook 2024-2025. Let me shock you. 2024, do we expect to see the price of food we are experiencing now? 2024, they came to knock. We are entering serious crisis in 2025. Please, I don't speak politics. I don't talk politics. I'm a development expert. I will tell you how it is so that we can overcome it together. We don't talk political statements. We don't, I will not in any way putting government down. We are talking about our food situation. That if we don't address it, crisis that will break out in this country, we would have never seen it in our life. So let me share a few things with us. First, we had the insecurity that was happening, and they were set up to address that. We took it for granted. It's not in my community. It's only happening in some places. But before we knew it, we began to feel the pinch of the headers farmer crashes the bush. How are we feeling it? Your pocket is feeling it today. My pocket is feeling it. Price of food, where are they today? Over 90% of the food you and I eat come from the smallholder farmers. So when the smallholder farmers is displaced, when he is massacred, when he does not get the input he's supposed to get, when we have policies that talk about billions and trillions of naira in development or in subsidy, and it doesn't get to them against the pockets of people in offices, you and I are only creating a situation that we have found ourselves. Let me leave insecurity and go to some other thing. We had the drought of 2022, the flood of 2022. It wiped out a lot of farms. Did the farmers get investable funds for the next year? No. Even what was, in quotes, earmarked by the government, and this is not to put the government down, even that was earmarked did not get to those whose farms were eroded. So those farmers cannot go back to plant because they don't have money to invest. here we are. As at May last year, I wrote a paper to two major, those that are involved in our security and those involved in our food policies. And we told them 6 things. We will hit serious food prices in 2024, and the price of rice will hit almost 100,000 naira. It sounded like a joke. Are we there now? Are we there now? We heard the processor tell us that his cost of production 82,000 naira. So if you are taking a loan from the bank to finance this process, if you're looking at logistics, where will the price be? Even the 90-something thousand naira that we are looking at for 2024, let me shock you. We are heading for a price, local price, of 120 to 150,000 as we approach the Christmas and beyond. Do we have something put in place? We have been told, don't worry, we have opened the borders. We've removed all the things that custom needs to, don't worry, custom will give you landing cost. But Nigerians, let's tell ourselves the truth. What is the price of rice in Thailand? $1.60. What's the price in China? $2 per kg. Convert it to the current exchange rate. For Thailand, which is cheap, you get it for about 2,500 naira per kg. Multiply by 50 kg, we're talking about 130,000 naira for a 50 kg in Thailand. No transportation, no profit, nothing. So even if you open the borders from now to tomorrow, and we tell ourselves, don't worry, they're importing. No business now will import. Because if it comes here, the price of rice cannot be less than 150,000 naira for a 50 kg. So what do you, me and you, what are we supposed to do? We must produce our way out of these prices. It's not about telling you open the borders. Yes, that can tell you, don't cry, food will be coming, but food is not coming. That's the reality. So import cannot help us. I went to the market to buy a tube of yam, and from Benin, I buy yam all the time, 5,000 naira, and I can buy 10 tubers of yam. In my house, it eats yam like grasshoppers. And a few months back, I was traveling, I stopped by to buy 10 tubers of yam. One yam was 5,000 naira. So if I had to buy what I used to buy for 5,000 naira, that is 50,000 naira. How much is our minimum wage? Can our take home today feed us? If you go home with 200,000 naira, you buy a bag of rice for 150,000 naira. We are not talking about, please, we are not talking about what the fuel will do to tractorization, processing, this already. We have not looked at that. We're just looking at the realities. Where are we? Where are we heading to? A bottle of watermelon I stopped to buy and I was told 5,000 naira. I said, excuse me, 5,000 naira for watermelon? And the company told me, sir, there's one for 6,000 naira. Watermelon. What is the basin of Gari weighing for today? Someone talked about cassava and I was so happy to hear that. What is the basin of Gari today? 45,000, that is what some of my processors are giving to me. For what you buy before for 8,000 naira. How do we survive? We talk about climate smart, but let's also put hunger smart Nigerians. So, a nutshell is to tell you and I that import will not help us. Let me give you complete information. Niger is looking for food from us. Benin Republic, that they used to import that they used to smuggle rice, is now smuggling rice out of Nigeria because the price is favorable, cheap, so people are taking it out. Then in July, August, we had the drought that came in across Nigeria. These are pictures. Farmlands were wiped out. The rains only resumed about 2 weeks ago, and what happened? Flood. The flood has devastated Borno. Then we stated a huge date. We are expecting it in Kenya and the rest. We are expecting it in Benin in the next 9 days. The river is already rising when I left yesterday. So what drought will not take, flood will take. Are we listening? Yes. The country is at war with hunger. That's the reality. It will take. But again, what remains, Benin Republic will take. Niger Republic will take. When supply is deleted, the forces of supply and demand will compete. You and I, a lot of people cannot feed. Food is not clothes that you decide whether I want to bear it or not. You must. If you like, fast like Jesus Christ, after 40 days you must come and chop. So when is the arm for 2025? We need to gear up, each and every one of us. And I'll share a few things with us. Next slide. So what do we do as professionals in my field? What we do is to try to remove the pain points of the smallholder farmers. For example, you see, this is how our women thresh what you and I eat. It will take 4 days for 5 persons, and it will cost 31,000 to the smallholder farmers to thresh, for example, 1 ton of soybean. But when we introduce little machine to them, it will cost just about 5 hours, 3 persons, and it will cost about 8,000 naira to thresh just 1 ton of soybean. And this saves the farmers some money, saves him time, so the cost at which he will transfer to you and I consumers is limited. True or false? Next slide. In 2023, using what I call lighting the load, we intend to see how we can reduce the load of the smallholder farmers. Now, you see, this is happening right in the heart of Macaulay. 4 young ladies planting 1 hectare. How many days will it take them? A whole day under the sun. Will their backs, their waist, feel comfortable at the end of the planting for the day? No. Will they plant regularly? No. The planting space, so definitely we'll see that we are going to have yield difficulties there. First and foremost, we'll have wastages, we'll have overcrowding, we'll have the human. But with a little machine there, a little roller planter which is less than 100,000, within 4 hours, standing erect, you can listen to your music while you push fertilizer and seeds are applied at the same time. So we need to be smart, lightening the load, using different technology. It's just less than 100,000 naira. You can use it year in, year out, year in, year out. It doesn't break. Next slide. Again, we train our MSMEs on the cassava man talked about the soil. And we talked about climate smart agriculture. So what do? We train our MSME, giving them these little kits. So they go with the kits to test the farmer's field. And guess what? The soil that you see is alive. The soil, if you overdose it with fertilizer, you are killing it. If you underdose it, you are affecting your crops. If you don't do a soil test, how do you know? We have this standard, they say 4 bags of NPK, 2 bags of urea. The soil is not hungry. 4 bags of NPK, 2 bags of urea. The soil is hungry small. The same recommendation. The soil is seriously hungry. The same recommendation. So our farmers will buy a bag of urea and NPK for about 40-something thousand naira times 6 cost. He puts it on his soil. At the end, he will transfer that cost to you and I. So what do? We train our MSMEs with this small kit, and they go to sensitize the farmer. The farmers pay them about 5,000 naira for a test of 1 hectare, and they get recommendations. Some of them are now recommended to use 2 bags of fertilizer. So they have saved the cost of 4 bags of fertilizer. This is part of what we call the most impactful practices. Next slide. Professor sir, I've heard about you through Dr. Blessing Agada. We had a collaboration and we asked ourselves, how do we improve the participation of our youth in agriculture, keeping our agri graduates within the fields where they can bring their expertise? In my class after graduation, I think I was one of the only ones who continued in that trajectory till today. A few started coming back later on. A lot ended up in the bank. Did they add value to the nation? I don't think so. A lot ended up in different professions. Extension to farmer ratio in Nigeria, they tell you 1 is to 10,000, but I tell you that is not true. It's about 1 is to 38,000 naira, 38,000 farmers to an extension to farmers. Extension to farmer ratio. How can, if you don't have extension, who will take these messages that I'm not telling people to the smallholder farmers? The government is even paying salaries now because the wage bill is huge. How many extension agents do we have? And we keep losing a critical mass that will spend 5 years to train. 6 years for some to train in agriculture, keep losing them into places that they are not needed. So what do? We decided to change the tide. Remove the pain point of Nigeria. And what I started was in the University of Agriculture, Macaulay, which is currently the Joseph Takasara University. Last year, we collaborated with few people, and we began to train the 400 level students who are undergoing their service program. We didn't only train them, we trained them in the way we operate. We attached them to our MSMEs. We taught them, we trained them with what we call the suites of digital apps. So on your Android phone, what can it do for you? You can do a lot of things to solve farmers' problem. So we train them with that, and we attach them, and you can see them on the field there, using the plantings, the plants that detect diseases, using the Rice Advice app that can give you a whole guide on rice production. And here those students are attached and seconded to us, giving advisory to smallholder farmers using their phones. Capacity has been built, jobs are being built. It's making them used to stay in agriculture because it's no longer breaking their back. They are going digital. Next slide. Did we stop there? No. We need to get the youth involved. And so I hit the NYC camp. Every copper has a mandatory CDS. Every week you must do your CDS, you know. Now, when I was doing my own service, I ended up not within the field of agriculture. So I thought to myself, can we not harness all those agricultural graduates at the camp? Now, train them, link them so that when they go out in the various community, they become a hub that smallholder farmers can receive important information, they get extension advisory, and then also, how can these coppers, they graduated on Tuesday this week, sorry, they left camp on Tuesday for this assignment now. How can they survive with 30,000 naira allowance, increase to 70,000, that can even buy a bag of rice for 1 month, minus transport and all of that. So we needed to teach them something extra, how you can do it, and this is for all of us. Next slide. Next slide. If you don't take the story to the smallholder farmers, things will not change. Last year, through our MSM, we took the story to smallholder farmers. You can see there a transition, the smallholder farmer in a community who just adopted what we taught them in a year. And that young man, that youth, in a typical village, is building a brick house, 3-bedroom brick house, from his small house, from the yield of 1 day. When Nigeria, when a lot of people cannot afford even food, a farmer giving the right information, he has more than enough food. Now he's building a 3-bedroom flat in his village. How can this youth go into insecurity? Can he go and start stealing? Can he go and start looking for Boko Haram? Right in his village, this young man, not only him, that so many of them are being 5-bedroom for 1 year. So there's a need for us to put in the right information to put our use to productive use. Next slide. These are some of the students, Prof. They are now in their final year. I think they have just about 1 month to the end of the final year course for them. And we already secured this attachment to our MSME, and you can see they clean the rice there in a beautiful listing so that we can increase quality and all of that. Next slide. Now, the cocoa of the matter. Nigeria is tough. Food prices should not come down. This is part of my own young farm. I might not go, I have farm in the bush. But guess what? Here, in this farm is in Abuja here. Herders are in the bush, no problem. Can I farm around my house and produce my food? And from a space of about 6 by 12 meters, this am I am in the back, 370 stands. So even if for you that money doesn't mean anything, if I multiply that by 5,000 naira, I know how much I've saved for myself. So you can do it also around your house. Next slide. Then again, the price of tomato was hitting the roof. And I thought to myself, they eat tomatoes in my house. Few is everyday thing and very thick for that matter. Can I continue to buy from the market? No problem. God has given us knowledge. So, what does my flower do in the house? It gives me green color, yellow color, red color, purple color, and help to circulate oxygen. So I remove my flowers. You can see this on the interlock. I remove my flower from one side. Do you have a little space like this in your house? Yes, you have. Can you reduce your cost? Yes, you can. Can you grow healthy food for yourself? Yes. Maybe go farm, both in the bush and at home. Climate smart agriculture is what we're talking about here. So I planted 10 stands of the tomatoes. You can see it there. Does this look like a bush? So it will give me green color, it give me yellow color, it's still giving me this color. So if this color you want to see, I get them. On top, it's giving me food. Now what you see here is a harvest of 2 days from 10 stands of tomato right in my house. How much stew can my wife? So now she needs to do competition on how to be able to consume more than I'm producing. Now I'm producing far more than she can consume. So we have enough to also give to our neighbors and give to some friends. Can you do it around your houses? Yes. Can you also do it in your offices? Yes. No space should be wasted in the current day Nigeria. Next slide. I want to thank you all so much. I might have extended my 12 minutes. Pardon me. It's the passion we carry to make a difference and to make a change. Have a wonderful day, and we wish us the best of the battle against hunger for 2025 and 2024. Thank you so much.
I will appreciate you do more. Please do more. Please do more. Please do more. Please, where is our leader guy? Prof. Please. Sir. Bank of Agriculture, please. FCC, please. Bank of Agriculture. Minister of Agriculture, please. Thank you so much, sir. Make we go far. Make we go far. 4 years ago, I told my wife, I said the time is coming, we will not buy anything in my house. And I'm getting to the end. But you see, with what we have all had, I think we will do more. Let's start for our people. Sir, you know Joseph, your name is Joseph. When Joseph told his brothers of things, to suppress and suppress, eventually came to manifestation. This good job you are doing will take you higher and higher. Quickly, we want to skip some things and go straight to the unveiling. After the unveiling, I can do my presentation, another presentation can follow. So that most of our dignitaries who have kept them for too long, you know, they talk of my place, say, you know, to make it either too still. Next time, you know, will respect you. Have you know so? There's one king like that. That king can stay with us in my place for any event. At some point, I told my colleagues, the fact say Ajuwe means the king is very understandable. Don't overstretch some things. So quickly, there is no excuse of hunger in Nigeria. Quickly. Leader, please. And that's coming from our former Minister for Agriculture, the current President of African Development Bank. No. Go back. ADB. No excuse. Sorry, hunger cannot be justified in Nigeria. Please connect to network. Networking is allowed. Media, please help me and save my time. Hunger cannot be justified. You need my assistant? Please improvise. Hunger, ADB. Check that folder. Hunger cannot be justified. AFDB is there. Good, great. Please switch. Listen to just the words. Let them motivate you, please. How good to go?
Hunger in Nigeria cannot be justified. Nigeria has the land with 44 million hectares of arable land with rich and diverse agriculture. It has the water. It has the liver, and it's pretty cheap. It has great sunshine. Nigeria must achieve zero hunger. There is no reason for anyone to go hungry in Nigeria.
If you must know, the Make We Go Farm initiative is to bridge a gap. After the special agro-processing zone project last year, the process started all the way when we had COVID-19. We were part of those with my technical team outside this country for the feasibility studies. Eventually, we lost out. But when you lost out, you think of solutions. This, but there's a big problem. The big problem is agricultural farm produce that are meant to be used for processing in this facility to be built, storage facility and all that. So that is why we are driving the Make We Go Farm initiative. And I hope to make life today that we are doing everything possible for the African Development Bank to finance this initiative with a pilot phase to be done in 25 states of this country, 200,000 hectares of farmland across 25 states, and the FCT inclusive. That will translate to empowering 200,000 farmers' households, translate to 1.2 billion Nigerian youths farmers' household members to go back to agriculture. Join me as I call these few persons as we unveil the Make We Go Farm estate model known as Quebec Agritech City Farm Estate. If you do please. Prof, you are needed. Please, you are needed. Bank of Agriculture, you are needed. My madam here from LCCB, looking young, even though the school just resumed, the stress is supposed to start from our kids. Locally, please. Federal Minister of Agriculture, please. We want to unveil. Please let us be by this side so that they can see the school. Prof, do this. You are the family. Please, video, please. Sound, please. Thank you for watching. And I want to, I will speak to Prof. Make them not come to see look at respect. I mean, not so, we'll give out to the elders. So, sir, I will join you people. You had President said there is no justification for what? Hunger. And you have heard from Apostle Joseph of our time, who has opened our eyes. So those people cannot find tomatoes by their window. Learn something today. So we'll be waving the flag as a way of unveiling this project. And here, what we have, Prof, is Make We Go Farm, Nigerians. So we wait for us stand up. Please, if you can give us that song. The light is green. If you have it, please. If you have it, please help us.
Can we give this project a round of applause? Personally, I believe in my lifetime I've seen especially now that, sincerely speaking to you, let us remove politics. Yes. Hungry man does not understand politics. Hungry man does not understand religion. These are the four lines that we listen to the Bible. But honestly speaking, the only way out is production. Production, production, production. And it's a real privilege joining with these other experts to declare Make We Go Farm project open. Please, a round of applause, a round of applause, a round of applause. And not just raising this flag. We want all of us to participate. Like I said before, I'm going to engage with Martins and his team, and strategically, we want to see how faculties of agriculture in Nigeria, from Sokoto to Port Harcourt, from Maiduguri to Akwa Ibom, can get involved in this project. and we'll see how we can work it out. The best way to get the youth is from when they are in school, and this is in line with our dream to empower our youth while they are still in school, so that by the time they are coming out like Martins, they are coming out like Bina, they are coming out like many of them that are doing exploit in the field of agriculture. But the truth is production. When we have so many, I can also want to tell you, there is a big rice mill in Bida, close to my Badegi. They have not been able to operate up to 15% capacity since they established them. And we are talking of rice growing belt, rice zone, and they have not been able to. In Niger State, they have machineries, big, but they have not been able. What is the problem? No party. Lagos have to go all the way to Kebbi to get rice. I did a project in Taraba with Father Matri, right from the field. People from Lagos already pay for their rice. From the field has not even finished that. They are the one that we harvest. So if you even want to buy rice, the people that are producing the rice in Taraba, they cannot even buy the rice, they cannot even eat the rice because it's already paid for. It's as serious as that. Let us go to the field and let us produce. May we go far.
So I embrace it and once again it's time for me to grow. Every tear I show, Lord of the harvest moons, I'm even joy of soul. The land is green, it's green, oh, oh. The land is green, it's green, can't you see? The harvest is ready, the Lord of the harvest told me so. It's green for me. I thought it was over, thought you were done with me. But we're just beginning. Oh, my life is a journey. I will walk with you. I will go. I walk with you. Yes, I will go.
Make we go far. Make we go far. While we are waiting for detailed presentation of the farm estate project, there was a leaflet given to you of this. Just be going through it. The farm estate model, we'll talk about it. While we are doing that, I want to really recognize the presence of Mrs. Victoria Oye from FCCB. She has been there all the way, despite her tight schedule. So media, quickly let's show the site of the farm estate shortly. After that video, we'll take the next presentation. the site. This is the site in Nasarawa State. And the groundbreaking will be done on the 12th of October. Daddy, Galabi, please, you can come. I call him Daddy. It's okay. Now, one of our model, what we have done is to discourage people selling their inheritance. So that we have done in Bayelsa State, Ebonyi State, Imo State, make their land available. For the North Central Farm Estate projects are the families who gave us the land, who trusted us. And more families are already coming in. And as today, fully surveyed is 200 and something hectares, but what we have there is going to approach close to 1,000 hectares. Families are coming, buying into their ideology. So, I will take my presentation now. Let me have my slide, please. Very short and brief. Going straight to what the farm estate project is all about. Then after that, a Bank of Agriculture will come in. Let's talk money cartels. Hello? Can we do farming without money? That's why we kept them last this time. That first time we kept them front, sir. Apologies, sir. My people from head office, I'm sorry, sir. I'm not taking your partnership for granted. Please media my presentation. Now, please, if you have these pamphlets, it will help you very well. Because there's no excuse anymore to say you want to farm, there's no place to farm, no this and all that. So while the media is coming up, the Mekugo farm estate model, which the trademark has been done 4 years ago, to be named Quebec Agritech City Farm Estate. The whole idea is that we have an Agritech City that can accommodate people, a section for processing, a section for farmers' housing, and around the city you now have farm estates. So people can actually farm on their own, bring their farm produce for processing. So we look at it. A program like that will require, next slide please, next slide, yes, will require our people to come around. So we're going to be siting them in certain locations, that the farm estate will be spread open to everybody. So if your father has 100 hectares and your elder brother in UK says I'm the elder brother, you come in and make the land available. You farm, we design, we do all that. Bank of Agriculture can provide you the money. Federal Ministry of Agriculture will do their part, and before you know, things work faster. Yes. Next slide. I just want to introduce to you. Take it off. You already know about us. It's very simple. The mission is to see how we can raise transformative capital for agriculture by converting all cultivated farmland in rural communities into farm estates. My village farmlands in my village, in your village, let's convert them to farm estates. Of course, we have all construction projects that no longer favor the rural community. So this can make our rural communities get better And people like that, my brother, they are looking at me very black. I remember that I used to set up a pure water factory or a bed factory. Next slide, please. Now, our scope of operation is simple. And like I said, our slogan is stabilize the control edge. Now, people do not kill themselves for this part of the business. People don't kill themselves for cash crops anymore. What is important now is fruits, vegetable, and food crops and livestock. But I can tell you there are people like me who does not eat food for 2 weeks. Am I right? For 2-3 weeks, people don't eat food. But you see that food crops, yam, cassava, rice, you must find it. So these are what we are looking at. If we want to focus on this, and this is what the farm estate will be doing. Next slide, please. Our model is simple, business model is simple, farm estate, processing plants, tractor, collaborations, private and public partnership. This is what we have done. You see, if you want to achieve everything, you must have to make sure you do your homework very well. And I think we have done our homework very well. Can you clap for us? We have done, I can tell you today that Quebec has done their homework very well. So it's no longer talking about talk, now it's that action. Next slide, please. Next slide. You add that to my diagram edition. Return back, please. Sorry. Next. Now the model is very simple. Is to see that eligible Nigerians now have access to farmland to farm without being scared of security, without being scared of spiritual and physical harvesters. How do you know that? You farm, you harvest it. Now one of our team members found beans in Apo, the physical and the spiritual forces of the land harvested that beans, and even one module he couldn't discover. Now we even have night attackers. One of our team here, Douglas, is a farmer, calling for me, please. It's action time. Douglas harvested beans, but he didn't share to me as his boss. He kept it, the beans is more than 1.2 million. In his household, in Abu, they moved everything. They did not leave one module for him. So these are the problems we want to solve. Please take my picture off, give us this slide, please. God bless you. The idea now is for you to be able to have up to 1 acre, which is 5 to 5 hectares. Max, because nobody in Nigeria can use that one. We want to see that every household. You had Mr. Joseph from USID. He told you how he did tomato did this. So see, first of all, you must struggle for your family first. We are let's use the second struggling to feed our home without fear of any attack. Commander, without fear of any attack. Now the initiative, like I said, will be replicated in 25 states. In our next Federal Farm workshop, I will bring those data up, state by state, size of land and all that. And it will include the FCT. So this is the target. We are targeting 200,000 hectares of farmland. To get it is not difficult. Commander, after September 3rd, we already have land in Cross River State. Crossing, Nigerian Civil Defense, not for them. So getting the land is not the problem. Land is not a problem. Next, what we are trying to do, this package will enable you with a little fee to include, with a little fee, it gives you farm security to secure your farm. Secondly, land clearing and preparation. Thirdly, insurance and what? Irrigation services. Then if you need other services, it can attract other costs. That includes what for farm inputs. We have farmers already who are ready to be loyal to your government. Tell someone loyal to your government. They want to serve as your workers. So for this project in National Plate, we already have 263 farmers ready for you to say, come and work for me. I think you clap for us. Then we have specialists, you have seen them today, who will guide you through the process. By the time we are bringing farm into support service out, for them to make a presentation, you will touch that area. So that you can have where you can get farming. Because whatever you put on the ground, if the seed is good, It will give you. Next time I'm going to bring Mr. Joseph, he's going to tell you the secret why there is failure in what you get. Because whatever you put on the ground, if the seed is not good, it will have issues. Next time, please. This is our farm. The farm estate model is well designed. The kind of layout and all that. We are having food crops. We talk about cassava, yam, and all that. My colleague will speak on that area. Poultry section, that's where you have Ogale. The poultry experts will come in and do some things there. Now, it gives you opportunity as an investor. If you want to invest in this project, you can invest. If you want to subscribe to have your own land, are you getting my point? You can also subscribe. So we have already sourced for 200,000 hectares, like I mentioned, to enable us engage at a pilot phase 1.2 million Nigerian youths. Let me tell you, we have already put in same figures. But I am telling Nigerians today, it's not same figures. The mathematics is simple. How many of you are from a farmer household? Your father is a farmer. Let me see you. Don't be ashamed. Stand up. Don't be ashamed. It's me that picked them very well. Life and progress. Even back of wait. Now, sir, I give them mic to be sincere. To be sincere. What your father went through, I won't ask you. What your father went through, has he encouraged you to be a farmer before now? Give me mic, man. What is these people doing here, sir? The answer is no. But we are not trying to make agriculture. Okay, he said, I want to say something. You saw your father went through pain.
Actually, they went through pain.
Good. But now, we want to make the package. Civil servants will resign from their job and join farming. I will tell you. I will tell you as we move on. Next slide, please. All this is grammar. It's already on this leaflet. There's no point. We'll show it is there. Go through. But one, I'll just go to. It will lead to what? Development of sustainable human settlement for farmers and public servants. Our farmers are suffering. A farmer cannot be part of the National Housing Fund. Yes or no? Have you heard it before? It's only activated in this project. Farmers too are not, their health is nobody's business. Already we have Asabata Insurance PLC, health insurance. There were here two sections on HMO, on a yearly HMO premium of 20,000 yearly per farmer. That also includes major operations like the same. So, like I said, we have done our homework properly. So a farmer that cannot, if you see your mother that is pregnant, go to a village, see pregnant women, even at 6 months, they are still taking the shot. So we are talking about see how we can solve that problem. Then make sure our farming communities are not busy. Look at Lagos, overpopulated. People like me, I did my IT there and I refused to stay in Lagos. I was doing my IT in Apapa. I was staying in Agbara. Who knows Lagos very well? From Apapa to Agbara, you know, is the biggest frustration in life. Are you hearing me? So we now discongest that city, bring people back. Imagine a farmer household earning almost close to 470,000. Please, who is a mathematician? Please press. With the new minimum wage that is activated now, meaning that we cannot pay a farmer daily pay more than 3.5. 3.5 times 6 member farmers household on this project. How much? Mathematicians? 210,000. Times 4 months, times a month now. 35. 3.5 times 6 times 4. They are not getting it. 3,500. We have 6 member household to do. Yes, to do 1 hectare. Because you need minimum of 6 people to do 10 plots of your farm. Yes or no? You need minimum of 3 to do 5 plots. Now this 6 member household now, they are being paid 3,500 daily times 6. 21,000. Times 6 again.
126.
Times 4.
504,000.
So by the time we remove deduction, and these people will now become taxpayers, we remove deduction, housing and all that. service and all that, they can still go on with about 500 and so, maybe 300 or 250 or something. Will their children return back from Lagos? Will they return back from Lagos every month? Next slide, please. Next slide. You have the next slide. Next slide. Next slide. We have shown you the video, but this is just the layout. Next slide. Next slide. So it's well designed in a way that we have two layers for the commercial. The city is being divided into, we have the commercial. Why do we do 50%? Everybody that is going to farm in that place is optional. So far, you want us to buy from you to drive the food production contribution program. The food production contribution program is targeted to see that we have 1 million Nigerians to subscribe to that project at a fee of 7,000, which might be reviewed anytime from now, or are still watching the system. But as soon as it's not being reviewed, if you have 1 million Nigerians subscribe to that food program, that's about 7 billion in a month. Do we need Bank of Agriculture? Don't be offended, sir. Do we need Bank of Agriculture again to finance the project?
Yes.
Huh?
Yes.
Okay. They will tell you why. When the time. So the whole idea is that when bank politics is going on, that the interest rate is jumping, inflation is jumping. Let's look for a way for Nigerians to improvise with their smart infrastructure. So we have two layouts. If you want to come in, we have the fruit and vegetable side. You can only do fruit and vegetable there. We have the food crop side. You can only do food crops in that layout. The reason is because of the irrigation system to be put in place. Of course, we know that the irrigation system for fruits and vegetable setup is different from food crops. How many of you are aware of that? So we do not want to promise and what and fail. So it must be guided by a principle. Now, in this one, you have seen civil defense. Are you seeing it? So we have the security agencies also having their farm in there. We have the vigilante, we have the civil defense, and the defense headquarters. So we go in. We have the farmers' business school, farmers' market. So many sessions like that. That once you go to the website, you get these details. Next slide. Next slide. Nigerian diaspora also has been allocated certain hectares to ensure the business and the partnership grow smoothly. Because most of our Nigerian diaspora has given people money to do farm for them. The rest is what? Story. Next slide, please. Next slide. Next slide. Next slide. Please go back. This is our urban site design for the last 2 years for activation. Next slide. Next slide. Next slide. Next slide. Our strategy and goal is very simple. While you are farming, you are making your money, we are solving a major problem. That's somebody solving a major problem. You are making money, but we are solving problem. One of these is to enhance the livelihood and food safety, to enhance livelihood, food safety, and nutritional accessibility. Many of the food we eat today, they take them to lab. You know the rest of the story, right? Right? Then provide agricultural training for farmers. Many of our farmers need to be trained, especially now that agriculture is being affected by climate change. Remember, when Prof was coming in, we played a video, a fund made available to this country by the African Development Bank to address and quickly arrest the issue of climate change. It's in billions of dollars. Probably we can do a recap of that video later. Then also, address the urban congestion. Today, a lot of youth are wasting in cities, doing nothing. Crime is increasing. Something happened to one of our colleagues yesterday who wanted the vehicle from somewhere, coming down. He never knew that bullets. Yeah, to tell you when crime is going down. These are all you, not old men. And not Abaji, they were intercepted by the NDLA. Thank God they were arrested in Maraba. People are trying their best to feed their home. People are also initiating process to steal from others. So if we make our youth, if we have solutions that can reduce all kinds of crime, it's part of what we're trying to do. They want to prioritize the farmers' well-being. Farmers have suffered a lot. Although, if we ask Bank of Agriculture today, they will tell you that 60% or 40% of farmers are not sincere. But we want to see what we can do. Part of this is to collaborate with the local partners, also at what we are using us to do, and also involve in conflict resolution between farmers and neighbors. Because this particular one is a major problem, and I think Commander has touched it effectively. Are you getting it? I'm telling you, there is hope in the Mekubo Farm project. And the solution, like I said, Sentinel taught Commander, the solution to the problem in farmers' headers lies in NSCD. Let's start with that. Next slide, please. Next slide. Next slide. Two things we are doing here now. Giving you access to farmland. Giving you access to finance. There are some who said, I want to farm, but I don't have money. Bank of Agriculture, are you available to give out funds? Give me mic. I say yes. Give back mic.
Yes, no louder. I say yes.
That's
I'm giving them money right now.
Then I pay my prices. No. I'm not doubting him, because you see, it was Bank of Agriculture that wrote to us last year for a collaboration. And they asked me, how much do you want? I said, keep that one first. There's something that is about to happen. When we finish it, we realize the function. And I want to tell you, we are working so hard. Please, when you go back to headquarters, sir, they have over-delayed our processes of integrating Bank of Agriculture to fully online banking. If they are ready, within 7 days, it will be activated. Please, tell MD that I'm on my knees. On my knees. That people want to take loan and farm, but analog system cannot give us a solution. Bank Payment Service Bank, which we are part of, the design is in place, and once it's approved within 7 days, max 14 days, it's activated. Now, please decide, and that's how we run it. So now there's an option for financing. You lease the land. We see what we want to do. We come together, we go through our cooperative. I don't know if you were at the third edition last in May. There is a federal department of cooperative in Ministry of Agriculture. A lot of reforms are taking place. Nigerians, let's let go the past. I have told you, and you send me the message, and I will go. So it is only through cooperative system we can achieve results and get results. So Cuba Cooperative is not a political ground. It's for serious-minded people. So if you are ready to access loan, to do this farming on your own, the offer is open from today. Next slide, please. Good. What can I farm in that place? It's not by getting the land. Please. Let the anointing not go down. What can I farm in Agua Zenko? That is the location. From here, it's 2 hours drive to the place. What can I farm? This is where I will leave it to my order at the top. Thank you.
Thank you so much for a wonderful presentation. So we're looking at what can we plant or what can we produce in the state that has been given to us. So when we look at grains, generally grains will have what we call cereals. So cereals, rice, maize, sorghum belongs to what? Cereals. Then for legumes you have what? Beans, which we also call cowpea. We also have groundnut. Now, groundnut can fall under both oil crops and at the same time they are also legumes. Same thing for soybeans. Now we'll go to our roots. Now roots and tubers, just like the presentation we had today. Cassava falls under roots and tubers. Yam and potato falls under that. Then we'll look at the idea around this is the duration period. If you look at the grains we are looking at there, not more than 3 to 4 months to have what we want, then you can have your produce readily and the farmer is fine, not something that we can wait for long. Then we're also working on the roots and tubers, the kind of cassava stems that we can work within 6 to 8 months, possibly we'll have 2 production cycles between 10 to 14 months. So that if you have a variety that goes for 6 months, it then means within a year, you can, the year we're talking about is, for example, now, well, irrespective of the kind of rainfall event that we had this year, rainfall has not really been very stable, but irrespective of that, what we were doing before, what we're doing is, you have a production around May, June, July, and towards the end of the year, September, October, November, you plant it. So it then means that you can actually have a complete production within a year, 12 to 14 months maximum. You can have 2 production. Then we'll come to our fruits and vegetables. You are looking at spinach, what we call alebo, that is the spinach. Fluted pumpkin is our ugu, tomato, carrot. Then even the zobo, we can actually still produce zobo too. So the idea is this, that on the particular land that has been given to Quebec, we will have a lake there already. Can we clap for that? So with that lake, we are trying to see how we are going to excavate to see that production of these vegetables goes all through the year. So once we have steady water supply that is not costing us to drink water, that have a lake at this natural form, and we've excavated to get a larger depth and size, that means we can produce some of these vegetables, most of these vegetables, all through the year. Then we'll go to oil crops, just like we talked about. Sunflower, something like sunflower, sunflower is an economic plant that we can also explore opportunities. Because what we've been able to do is that we've been able to do what we call soil fertility mapping and evaluation for the entire food that has been given to us. Now, what is also putting us on our toes for the property is that other farmers are also willing to submit more land for the project. It then means that there's no resting for us in terms of, because we don't want farmers we don't want to produce blindly. We want to do sustainable production. We put in little that we little and get what we want without polluting the environment, and yield in terms of quantity and quality is still sustained. So Quebec is not just trying to do business as usual. It's not business as usual. We'll improve on what we want to do. That is why it's costing. Now, the first cost of the soil analysis is about 2.7, but I remember the exact report, is over 2-point-something naira for soil fertility for 216 hectares. Because what we have currently is 216 hectares. So it's costing more. That's the people that this Quebec needs business. So that in terms of soil fertility management, we'll be on top of our game to ensure that we don't do things blindly. So, may I have the slide again?
Media, please.
Yes, estate is sure we're going to have that. But for the aquaculture, what we talk about aquaculture is now one must see how to produce fish. Looking at a gestation period of 6 to 8 months for each production cycle. In fact, what we're also looking at is a situation whereby we don't have to wait for a 6-8 months to give you table-sized fish, what you call your fresh fish, but we can actually also have a smoking field that within 3 to 4 months, we also have a table size that we can actually smoke, so your dry fish can also be processed from the farm. We have the lake there already. So we are looking at opportunities that we don't have to wait for 6-8 months gestation period for some of these fresh fish. We can
at each canteen that you come to the estate, there is fish, whether you want fresh fish or dry fish. So that's where the aquaculture is coming in. And the poultry, our sister has done good job this morning by telling us some of the prospects for the poultry farm, and we're having her on board at all levels, both the national states that we're starting and also scaling up for the country. So mixed crop, we've also seen that for each of the allocations that have been given to individuals or cooperatives, because what we're looking at is we don't want to deny, it's a little space we are starting with, but within these 3-4 months, we've seen that what we're saying has led to more is rolling in. But the standard is that don't just come and mop up all the rest of the maximum is a maximum of 5 hectares. So you don't, because you have the money, you want to do more than that. It's not possible. So what I can also look at is a situation where a farmer actually wants to do what's called mixed cropping. You want to plant your maize, then have your cowpea, because sometimes you have what we call relay cropping. So as your maize is coming up nicely, towards when you start planting a cowpea, which is your bean, you can roll it. So you have that mixed cropping concept. With that, because we'll have technicians on the farm that will give both soil advice and cropping system advice. So with that, we can have mixed cropping also on each of those allocation given to the poultry leaders and group of people. Now, the next one, please. All right, that's fine. Thank you.
Thank you so much. We have been given our flyers that there's offer for you to also invest. This is cassava period. You can invest and get a return on investment of 30%. The offer closes by 10th of September, but we have extended it to 30th of October for those who want to invest 100,000 per unit and all that. You go to our mobile app on Apple Store, Kindle Free, and Google Play Store, Netflix. Let's like this. This was a past event to tell you there's an evidence of our collaboration with Nigerian State Press, ready for their men and officers to be fed. Yes. So that's a major market and all that. Yes. A lot of problems to solve and all that. Our products. Sorry, that's our products. We are focusing on just cassava, rice, palm oil, fish, and what? Poultry. This is the basic things. And I want to do this. Our experts who produce that last circle fish. How many of you ate that catfish? Can you wave your hands? That's the man there. So please let me stand up. We will not kidnap you. National fish. So next slide, I think that's all. And this is where I will round up my session. All I want to say is time for us to go on, influence and leave our mark on agricultural industry of our nation. Join the revolution today and completely invest in children food. Thank you. So Bank of Agriculture will come in now, and after that we'll go for exhibition once we return. Ministry of Agriculture and FCCP Director, please, I beg of you, let's complete this. What you must take home from
that is fixed. Thank you so much. My name is Elder John. It's an opportunity to meet you and maybe have an interface with you. The essence of coming here is to tell you the product of the banks. On behalf of the MD executive, so I should greet all of you. Thank you for bearing with the Quebec, and the Lord bless you. I couldn't come with my flaps. That's why it was not projected. But I'm going to try as much as I can to summarize it to the context of these things. Bank of Agriculture was established in 1970. Started operation in 1973 as Bank
the Nigerian Bank of Agriculture. The names undergone revolutions, regulation changing from one name to another. In 1978, it was changed to Nigeria Agricultural Cooperative Bank. In 2000, it was changed to Nigeria Agriculture and Rural Development Banks. And today, it is called Bank of Agriculture. Why all these names following in sequence? The federal government in question is trying to do what? Reposition agriculture in line with financial institutions. And that's why the name of Otagon always says, who owns these banks? That's the question. The bank was owned by federal ministry, was owned by federal government, that is, under the supervision of Ministry of Agriculture, the CBN, and the Federal Ministry of Agriculture, and Federal Ministry of Finance incorporated. So they have a ratio share of 60 to 40%. That's why the Bank of Agriculture was owned, was supervised by what? By the Ministry of Agriculture, because of the unique nature of the banks. What are the mandate of these banks? The mandate, one of the major mandate of this bank is the provision of credit to support agricultural growth. Is to provide what? Credit to agricultural growth. That's one of the main function of establishing the banks. Another one is capacity development. How to encourage people to venture into agriculture. Another area is also provision of opportunity for self-employment. One way of reducing rural movement. Another way of doing it. Then the final one is the provision of infusion service and the value chain of the rising from the one down to this point we are cut from. Then, what are the type of products that this bank has? There are three segments of products. You have the savings, you have the credit, you have on-lending. Those are the three ways of product the bank manage. Some of the first product I will tell is savings. Savings. The bank, why did the bank save? That is the question. You have to open an account with the bank. If you want to be the customer of the bank, you must save as an individual. You must save as individual. You must save as a corporate body. You must save as a cooperative, corporate body, individual. NISA, and the BOABIS. All these ones are accounts that you must have with the bank in order to do what? Position yourself for financial processes. You want to benefit from the bank, you must have all those processes. You must save as an individual, save as a corporate body, save as a corporate, save at liberty. The account opening requirements. For you to benefit from this bank, you must have a requirement process. What are the requirements? You must have a mandatory account opening relationship. Just as the other bank has their own mandate of opening an account, you must have that mandate of opening accounts with the bank with 3 passports. One passport is attached to your passport, while the other one will be your
separate books for references. You must also have your BVN, a printout BVN, to be used to align. Because in time to come, you will not see anybody coming to need to pay your loan or have Google your loan. They use the same account to credit your account, just as the MD emphasized. In terms of joint accounts, you have joint accounts, then definitely two mandatory signatories must sign. There must be signed a signature statement for what? For account opening. Let's talk about the cooperative. If you form a cooperative account, you must also have a mandate of opening the account with 3 passports, with two signatories, and then KYC, know your customers. You must do what? Have those things in your accounts. A copies of registration and what? Executed partnership agreement to show that these people agree to open accounts with the banks. It is not a personal issue. So there must be an agreement embedded with your customer and attached to that your request as a corporate body. And also a resolution to agree to interpret that these people are aware. You will send that copy signed by the secretary and the chairman of that corporate body. That corporate body. That's the resolution. Then a registration of certificate, either from cooperative, we have two types of cooperative, the one within the local government levels, then we have the CAC, and also the corporate bodies. You must also give us the photocopy of it to be attached to this. You can also open an account as a club. You can open an account as a society and a voluntary organization. Memorandum understood by the party should also be presented to the bank. Memorandum is what people agree and should also be in conformity with the bank request. Then who are the target? There are some target groups that bank is trying to give money. Some of the target groups are as follows. We have women, agricultural revolution in Nigeria. It's one of the targets. We have youth in agriculture. We have BOAB, Rural Business Initiative. Also loan, it's also packaged for. Then we have a paydays loans. That means you have salary, you can give this loan and be deducted from inside. We have also Operation Feed Yourself, which is also going on with the head of civil service, which we are giving to some of them. Head of civil service. The package loan to some of them, the loan will be deducted from your account. And average of 33% of your total income. So if you have your money is 100,000, multiply it times 12, the 33% of it will be given to you as a loan. That one is ongoing on. Then we talk of agric like microcredit agric, non-agric, marketing. So some of the credit that we share to have SME, that is small and medium enterprise. We have it also going on, and you can succeed when you do what? When you have all the prerequisites, or precondition that you fulfill also not funded. The funded one is an organization they decide to come and give money to Bank of Agriculture with the agreement as a MOU. Okay, I'll give you, like some of the state governments that participated on it already, they give some sum of money, like 200 million. So give to these particular people, the targeted people, to produce something in order to increase what? Production in a particular place where they have a comparative advantage of it. You do that one too. I want to do it. You either all the member targeted member, they will have an account in the bank. They also have a stand between the two parties, how the money is going to recover. If it's the duty of the banks or the two parties together, they will work in that formula. That is, another loan will give to people. Then microcredit non-agri. Microcredit non-agri will cover the value chain. And people do any other thing like selling or provision, selling garden and all that will give to them as a loan, either individual or collective. We give also processing. Processing we give. Like we talk about processing of garden, processing of food, and give money to establish what machinery to process this. Bank can do it. By processing of tomatoes, we did that one also. So it's another avenue for you. But what? There's a condition attached to it. Why I just say condition? The condition is to secure that particular loan. If you don't secure the loan, the bank will what? Will fund it. And they will not have opportunity to refund it. So that's why there's in every organization there is attached processes that follow this. So finally, I've told you the requirement that is meant for all this thing. Then for on-lending, we have collateral security. If you want to get loan from the bank, you must prepare for collateral security. A security that is located at what? A strategic area. So we can give us also bank guarantee. It's another condition for it. Another one is irrevocable standing orders. We also use that one. And finally, it's my pleasure to say that Bank of Agriculture is open. And we are grateful to have shared this opportunity with you. That Bank of Agriculture is spread throughout the world, all the 36 states, including program capitals. You can access it anytime, any moment. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. I was thinking everybody would complain, but as I'm only madam, so we're patient. Let's give them a round of applause. And let us also appreciate our media for giving us special mind to continue. Quickly, I just want us to just wrap up, do the exhibition now. Do you have a question to ask? Okay. Good. Sorry, we have two departments. We have the headquarters fully represented at the Sona.
I just want to add one little thing. You know, that's not talking about the interest rate. Yes, our interest rate in the production, like production that is farming, cultivation, anything like that, is in the single digit of 9%. Wow. Yes. So, and then 9%. Example, assuming you lend you 100,000, the interest rate will be 9,000. Then that's a process that is it used to be 14, but it's reduced to 12%. Close to then just like you rightly said, we have branches in the 30 states. We also have branches in all the senatorial districts. We have over 110 branches.
Thank you so much. What confidence I want to give to everyone here is that as far as you are in partnership with us, and we want to do the right thing. When we are going, the journey is long. But I can tell you from 2025 is something different. Activation. So quickly, I want to bring the Department of Farm Input. Sir, we know you have taken your time, and we appreciate them very much because for the past two sessions, edition, we have tried to get them. So, sir, you have 5 minutes. Thank you, always.
Good afternoon. I need you to stand on the existing protocol. Media, can you project my slides? If you're ready, I'll just go. My name is Joshua Sanasi Hosea, representing my director. I'm to present short activities of the department in terms of Farm Input Support Service Department. It used to be called Federal Fertilizer Department, but because of the restructuring activities by the head of service, it is now called Farm Input Support Service Department, a technical department in the ministry that is operating under an act, more or less a regulatory activity as far as farm input is concerned. We all know that we need the input in order to have good yield. The soils or the farmland have been under cultivation over the years, and they have been exhausted of their nutrients. And now for you to cultivate them, you need to replenish the nutrients that have been taken by crops as a result of planting year in, year out. Now garbage in, garbage out. If you deposit poor quality fertilizer, of course the yield that will come up will be very, very low. Now, what is the mandate of the department? The mandate of the department is to ensure that quality input is sold to the farmers in the market. What do? We collect samples of the input, which include the fertilizers, the agrochemicals. These samples are analyzed to ensure that what the producers declare, if it is NPK 1515, NPK 2010, it is exactly the NPK 2010 as declared by the producer. If it is not, the producer is held to pay for wrong declaration. Now, go to the next slide. This is a vision, timely provision of farm input to farmers in the most cost-effective manner. The next one. The mission is to ensure that quality inputs are assessed by farmers for their use in an effective and cost-effective manner to increase agricultural production, ensure food security, and enhance the quality of farmers in rural communities. The next one. The mandate is all quality of the input. Once the quality input is used, at the end of it is bumper harvest, provided you carry out all the agronomic practices as at when due and properly done. The next. He said we are operating under a policy or under an act. This is the act. It's called National Fertilizer Quality Control Act, and it's regulated. In 2019, it was signed into law by the past administration. The Minister of Agriculture at that time signed the regulatory
part of it. Now the aim is to ensure that agrochemicals and fertilizers are of good quality for farmers to buy and use for crop production. Go ahead. Now the regulatory aspect shows the step-by-step activities that are carried out to ensure quality. Now, the policy has in place stepwise quality assurance activities in Nigeria through quality input production and distribution of sales. The established producers and dealers network aim at farmers buying quality inputs at the closest point to them. In line with the Act, fertilizer and agrochemical inspectors in all the 36 states and FCT were selected and trained, who will go to the remote areas, ensure that what is being sold to the farmers is right. And what do? They collect the samples of the products and send it to the headquarters for analysis. Sensitization program too has been done for farmers and the dealers to ensure that no one says, I did not know there was an act. Once caught, defrauded. So sensitization program has been done too. Now, faulters, anyone who is carrying out sharp practices is to be penalized, even down to imprisonment. If possible, you pay the fine, and as well, you go to prison, depending on the gravity of the offense committed by the stakeholder. Go to the next. Agroecology. Now the ministry, through the Farm Input Service Department, developed a policy framework towards encouraging organic fertilizer development, promotion, and production and promotion due to the advantages of organic fertilizer over inorganic fertilizer. The inorganic is the chemical fertilizer that is conventionally seen in the market everywhere, while the organic comes from the droppings of animals and the plants themselves when harvested. Thus, encourage the local production of the organic products that are eco-friendly and healthy for human use in food production. A policy for crop site specific. One of the speakers talked of this. Now we are also advocating that production of the chemical fertilizer, which is the inorganic fertilizer, should be site specific after the soil samples have been collected and analyzed. Depending on the crop requirements, fertilizers should be produced based on the soil as to reduce the side effect of the inorganic fertilizer on the soil and the environment. And as well, what is being produced, so it will be safe for human consumption. The next slide. Nutrition. The policy was noting that any input used for production will always have effects. Will always affect the end product, either positively or negatively, depending on what is being used in the production process. We are much more concerned about the negative aspects. For the positive aspects, that is what we want. Whatever you are using, the fertilizer you are using, the agrochemical you are using is to production. But once it goes to the negative aspects, we raise the flag. Such company or individual is to face the wrath of the law. Now, it is at this stage that the inspectors goes into the market, the open market, shops, production companies, take samples and bring it up for analysis to ensure that there is no adulteration, there is no sharp practices at production levels to distribution stage. Care must be taken to ensure that only quality food is produced by Nigerians, free from hazardous substances. There is a vision of the stakeholders that do not include hazardous chemicals in your production process. The next slide.
In conclusion, stakeholders printed here should note that production, manufacturing, sales, and distribution of inputs in the country is not allowed except you are registered with the department. And that is important for registration there. It is an offense and it's punishable for you to engage in fertilizer business or agrochemicals when you are not registered. As we go farm, let us take to the farm quality farm input to produce good quality food that will translate to a healthy nation. Thank you.
Please, I want you to do that and 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 do that. You know why I say so? It has stayed that we need to capture this department to this program. Let's start from there. You hear language. It don't take. Please, the last slide, please read it. Everybody snap. Yes. I'm a man in the spirit to don't keep my anointing. Take it back there. While you are doing that, join me to welcome. Can I call her? I don't want to cause problem. The last one. And one more thing, what we do is that after this program, all presentations are uploaded, well packaged very well, by each presenter on our social media platform. You can go there on our YouTube, Quebec Foods, Facebook, Quebec Foods, Instagram, Quebec Foods. You can go back in the next 2 weeks to any part you miss, you get it done. Join me as I welcome Mrs. Victoria Oye from FCCP. Once we are done, we will take the closing remark, we do our exhibition outside, and we call it a day. I love you all for staying to this time, and God bless.
Good evening, everyone. The last slide has just put together all what FCCP. I'm from the Quality Assurance and Development Department of the FCCPC, and this is what the Commission stands for. To produce quality, put everything quality, so that consumers can have access to quality food for a healthy nation. Please, I want us to give another round of applause for FISS from Federal Ministry of Agriculture. We'd like to know once again, all right, a good evening. I bring greetings from the EVC, standing on the existing protocol, Olatunji Bello. And we want to commend the organizer. I think he deserves another round of applause for bringing stakeholders together. It's commendable. And despite everything happening, he keeps moving. And I know that God will sustain you. So that when these crimes reduce, it will be better for our nation. And the food that consumers have to pay for, he's talking not just about quantity. The first edition that I attended, there was a weight scale here. The 5 kg is 5 kg, the 10 kg is 10 kg. No cheating. And that's what consumer protection stands for. And to bring all stakeholders together, everyone involved along the food chain is commendable effort. The regulatory bodies, the NAFDAC, the financial institution, we want to commend you once again. And I think it deserves another round of applause. We have come a long way, and the Commission encouraged partnership and collaboration with organization, regulatory body, institution, non-governmental organization, all effort that is aimed at ensuring consumer protection. They have access to quality food, quality nutrition, and as well as value for money. And I want to encourage, maybe go from the Quebec initiative, that you should sustain the tempo by collaborating more so that peace will be achieved. And I'm also going to end with this. As we go to farm, let us take to the farm quality input to produce quality, good quality food that will translate to a healthy nation healthy consumers, and it will be better for all. Because if you don't eat healthy, you yourself, if the food is hazardous, there's contaminants, things that, because most of the issues we have now, most food, like even cancer, most of them have been traced to what we eat. So food is a major contributor to the effect of cancer that we have in our society. And like I keep saying it, you don't know who is going to eat that. If you're on a farm and you didn't read the instruction on a chemical and you decide to just apply it, you don't know the outputs. You don't know, it could be your family member that will buy it somewhere tomorrow that will cause problem. So in everything we're doing, we should do it right. Seek the right knowledge. Before buying that chemical, don't buy from those that hawk around. Go to a registered dealer and accredited outlets so that you can seek information as part of consumer rights. Because consumers have rights to healthy living, to information, and to also a good well-being. So that you are applying that chemical, you didn't read the instruction, you don't know about it, or you don't understand the language, formation. Ask the agro experts, this that want to use. Is it a preceding treatment? Is it something that needs to be applied now? At what kg per acre, at what? So that at the end of the output, when you are harvesting, even too much chemical will even damage some of the food crops when they bring it out, and they won't be able to present it in the market for a healthy nation. So I don't have much to say. We have come a long way, and so like I said, just sustain the tempo of your collaboration so that our nation will be better for it. And as we go to farm, you say what we put in the head. Okay, now belay the control head. Also, as FCCPC, we encourage consumers do not say, I think this, what I'm buying this, after all it's not good, I can always go back. Always speak out and complain. If you notice anything, say something so that we can also act and our nation will be the better for it. Thank you so much.
It's not for how I encourage her. Okay. Thank you so much. We have come to a section. You know, over the years, people feel Cupid Food is a one-man business. And the last edition, which was May 11, out of the 8 directors we have, 4 were near life. Now, in this edition, we want to present to you a team, including staffs and IT students of Cupid Food, as we invite Mr. Raphael Mokashi, who is the chairman of the Food Production Promotion Program of the Cooperative House, to give a closing remark. As he's doing that, all team members come. All team members first. So we put on please. Thank you, Mr. Raphael.
Thank you very much. Our distinguished guests, our resource persons that exposed us to a lot of things to take home as regards agriculture and the need for us to go back to the farm. I want to appreciate all of you on behalf of our MD. And I want you to know that whatever you have done here today, or whatever information we have passed it today, for us to achieve food security, achieve healthy living in this country is very important, very, very important. As 1 or 2 things, it is going all our patient. We appreciate you. I want you to put your hands together for all of them who has been very supportive in any way he can. We appreciate you, sir. We appreciate you. On behalf of our industrial parks, we want to say a very big thank you. And we are not forgetting we from Kokona. These are people that has made the farm estate possible. We want to appreciate you too. We want to appreciate you. And to everyone that, and we will encourage you, make we go farm.
Thank you. That is a group photograph of all our team. This my mommy here. At your feet. Now, we want to force ourselves inside.